Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm a little embarrassed about this. Let me gather up my courage to tell you this story. All right, I wanted to do a little bit different video of my 1-year roundup. Instead of going through every one of my videos, I picked 5 that I thought it would be funny to tell you a little bit of what was happening behind the scenes of those videos. And honestly, a lot of these almost didn't make it. They didn't get made for one reason or the other, and I thought it would be kind of funny to tell you some of the reasons why and give you a little bit behind the scenes of what was happening during these videos. Monique Renee here, photographer at Silver Paw Studio. I am a pet and people photographer based out of Northern Colorado, and this rounds out my first year consistently uploading on YouTube. And so far, I really haven't been able to find any other pet photographers posting every single week on YouTube. So if you know of someone, can you let me know in the comments? I would love to collab or just follow their channel too. Thanks. You know, a year ago, January 2019, I posted a video, said I've been looking for pet photographers uploading every week on YouTube. Didn't find any. So I said, I'm going to start my own channel. And that's had definite ups and downs, as you could probably imagine. Every week posting a video is 8 to 10 hours of work between brainstorming and scripting and filming and editing and keywording and making the thumbnail and, you know, all the YouTube stuff. But it's been amazing. And I want to just touch on 5 videos I made this year that have some kind of a story behind them that you didn't know about in the posted video. And let's start way back at the beginning of the year. So I started in my YouTube channel in January of 2019, just using my iPhone, and quickly realized that I needed more. I mean, I have my Sony a7R III, I'm sure you saw that video, but really I was just using my iPhone for the video part because I was still learning. And so I realized, how about I get a GoPro? And I was just about to head up into the Rocky Mountains to photograph the sled dog teams up there. And so I decided to go out and buy a GoPro. And so you might have seen this video. It was featured on Denver News here. There's crash footage. Yes, I did crash. I was carrying my Sony with me as well. It was an adrenaline rush for sure. So on this video, I decided to buy a GoPro, which I'm filming on now. And so I went down to Best Buy on Friday morning and bought a GoPro. And Friday afternoon, we got in the car and drove up into the mountains. So as Steve drove, I learned how to use the GoPro. And I actually took the GoPro with me on that ride. I recorded all of my pieces to camera. I did not have a microphone. And I even strapped it onto Jennifer's sled and just let it go. And she was so nervous, but it was totally fine. We kind of duct taped to the GoPro to her sled. And we have some really cool footage for her sledding club. But this was the very first time I ever used the GoPro, was a couple of hours basically after I bought it. And I'm kind of that way. So that was kind of a fun behind the scenes with the GoPro. Let's go back here. So have you ever done that? Like bought a piece of tech and you used it for a job like immediately? I'm kind of that person. Let's see. Oh, the other one I wanted to talk to you about is I did a super short video that everyone was kind of surprised about. And it's this video. I did the Sony Animal Eye AF in-depth review, but just before that, I made a teaser video that's only 51 seconds long, and everyone was kind of baffled, like, why would I even do that? And that was 8 months ago. And what this was a challenge. So if you're a photographer and you know Peter McKinnon on YouTube. He put out Edgar Wright challenge. So Edgar Wright is this person who makes movies and does these super fast cuts and sound effects, and he put a challenge out to people to make a short video about that. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do that. So that is the story behind why I ever made this 50-second video and why it's so different from the rest of them. And I was doing the Peter McKinnon challenge. All right, another video I want to tell you about, let's go back here, is a video that not a whole lot of people cared about, and I knew they wouldn't. I just made it for me, kind of, because I couldn't stop thinking about this. So it's my 101 ornithologists walk into a bar, and I can tell you, I love bird watching, and I'm sure other people do, and many people who photograph animals and anything else, they photograph wildlife at some point. So I thought I'd talk about Global Big Day in this video, but I've also taken improv classes. And one of the things we talk about all the time is these jokes called 101. And so you pick a profession or an object and you say 101 of these walk into a bar, and everybody in the improv troupe steps forward and makes up a joke on the spot. So I knew I wanted to do that with this video, and I'm telling you, I lost sleep over this video because I kept thinking of jokes. Bailey's very impressed. I would be falling asleep at night and wake up and say, oh, I know 101 ornithologists walk into a bar, and I would just have a new joke for this video. So although this didn't gain traction, it's a little off topic for what I do. I wanted to tell you a little bit of my thought process behind making this video and why it's so quirky and weird. I mean, if you follow this channel, you realize I'm kind of quirky and weird. So let's see. Let's move forward in time a little bit more. And oh my gosh. Okay. So this is a very popular video I did. For years, people had asked me about this studio table that I use at all of the rescues. I've taken it on a plane to a conference to teach at. I've used this table for 5 years, I think. So hundreds and hundreds of times with probably thousands of animals at this point. So I did finally make this video, but I have to tell you, oh my gosh, okay, I'm a little embarrassed about this. Let me gather up my courage to tell you this story. All right, so this video I really wanted to make, but my day kept getting more and more and more behind. And I found myself at about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, frustrated because I hadn't started this video. I knew it was going to take some time, and I knew Steve would be home in about an hour, and I was borrowing someone's video light for this, and I had to give it back the next day for her projects. So I was using this video light to test it out. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday. I was frustrated, but I really wanted to put this video out. So what you're not seeing here, and maybe I'll show you, I did take a little behind the scenes, is on the counter in front of the fish tank is one of my cameras, and just beyond the camera is a glass of wine. Because I was so frustrated with this process and what I had done with my day, it was, my fault, of course. I was so frustrated, I thought, I'm gonna have a sip of wine between every take. So I did. This video took 1 glass of wine to make and about an hour. So just at a frame on that counter, I have a glass of wine that I would stop the cameras and take a deep breath and watch my time and take a drink of water. Oh, and I also have to say, we're right next to a little airport. There was a huge plane flying over. There was a lot of noise happening just outside the door on the other side of the house. I was so frustrated, but I'm so glad I did this video because so many people like it. I don't know if there's anything more I can say about this table, but if you have more questions, I can do another video on that. So that was the story behind the table video. And then the last one I want to talk to you about is this video I did with my sister that I call my Fashionably Late Twin. She actually helped me with this video, my pups and Prosecco truck that we photographed on the other side of the lake. And it was such a fun video. They have a Yorkie puppy. If you haven't seen that video, it was so fun. But my sister is a videographer behind this. But what I also recorded the next day was this video, photography advice from my twin. Now, she's not really my twin. We call her my Fashionably Late Twin because she was 18 months late and everyone thinks we're twins. So for this video, it was summer, it was warm. She was flying out that afternoon, but I really wanted to make this video with my sister. And so we took a walk with our cameras around the lake. And even though it was a weekday, here's what was happening behind the scenes. There was people out walking, so we had to pause the camera a bunch of times. We just went off on a tangents. We would just record silly stuff, and then I just scrapped it later. We were just being so weird. We just had a grand time, but this is what was happening behind the scenes. People were on their lunch walks. Once we got a little further down the lake, we didn't have anywhere. I just have my GoPro with a little like gorilla stand kind of a thing. Let me see if I can fast forward enough here. So we end up here at this barn where we had done the pups and Prosecco. And what you don't know is that the camera is mounted on a limb of that tree upside down. So I had to rotate all of this footage 180 degrees. And then the other thing is, in that barn, at that moment, they decided to fire up the tractor and do some work on the community garden. So we did some segments here, but we finally just gave up and kept walking down the lake. But this camera is upside down, hanging from a tree in this sequence with my Fashionably Late Twin. So I thought that was kind of a funny story to share with you. So that's a fun video, I think. I have managed to publish 51 videos this year on YouTube, and those are just 5 of the strange behind the scenes tales on this channel that I've gone through. I've really loved it. I've loved my whole journey. And matter of fact, I've even added video as a service and Silver Paw Studio. I, of course, still offer still photography, but now I'm even doing videography for clients, which has been fantastic, and for the shelters. So I'm really loving my journey here on YouTube. It is, I have to say, it's a little bit lonely not having any other pet photographers out here with all the millions of us that are on YouTube. Where are you? So let me know. I follow lots of other photographers, but nobody doing pet photography videos every week. So love to have you. But there you go. That's my little roundup of 2019 and behind the scenes stories. If you enjoyed this video or any of my videos, thank you, first of all, for all of your time spent watching these when you could be doing something else. So I appreciate that. And if you're not subscribed and you'd like to be, if you push the subscribe button and the bell, then you'll just know when the videos come out. You don't even have to remember. Thanks so much for being here and being part of this journey on YouTube with me. If you have any topics you want me to cover, just let me know. Type in the comments. And I have a really long list of videos I want to create next year, but I want to make them videos you want to see. So let me know what you want. And this has been super fun. And here's to an awesome 2020, everyone. Yeah, 2020 is going to be just as awesome as 2019. And I'm so glad to have you along with me. And as always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATSs.